Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Wi-Fi of Everything. I'm Robert Boardman, and
I'm Raul Dionisio.
And I am the special guest of the day, Dennis Burrell, from Ventev Wireless Infrastructure.
All right. And so what are we talking about today, guys?
Well, today we're going to talk about specifically antennas for large public venues, stadiums and arenas. Yes.
I thought we were going to go put this on a boat.
Not quite.
Whatever floats your boat.
Got a nice little rudder on here, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sure, if you could fit a couple million people on the boat.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and start with our
Sure.
little rudder.
Yeah, so basically, when you're at a stadium, all of the fans are there. They're taking pictures, they're Facebooking, they're tweeting.
Uploading.
Wait. They just watch the game, right? They don't use their phones.
They barely watch the game because they're using their phone.
Through their phones?
They want selfies. Anybody ever took a selfie at a stadium to prove that you were there? But anyway, so and if you actually are at the stadium and you look at your phone and you try to send something, you notice how long that it takes to get out if it gets out?
But I'm connected to Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but
there's so many people.
But there's so many people. So
it's a high density problem.
Exactly. So exactly, it's a high density problem. So how do we get over the high density problems? To get over those high density problems, what we want to do is we want to segment the stadium into small RF cells and confine users to those specific cells. Now, how do we do that?
Yeah, I was about to say.
So
that sounds easy. Right?
So typically in our large public venue deployments, we have different models. So we have what we call a top-down model.
Okay.
The top-down model is where we put directional antennas, high-gain antennas on the facades of the stadium and shoot down to.
Okay. Those are those big directionals.
Those are the big directionals that's typically behind you if you're in the lower bowl.
Yeah. Those 13 dBi, they're usually pretty high.
Those stadium antennas, the big ones, about this.
Typically around 35 degrees in beam width, 13 dBi.
They have funny names because they're so big.
Yep. And then we have what we call a front to back. The front to back is where we'll take a antenna in an enclosure and we'll put it on the railing between the fans and the players.
Basically
or the field.
The access, the stairs.
Exactly. Now what we're doing is now we're shooting up to the fans in the lower bowl in the front.
Okay.
Then what we call is a bottom up, and that's what we call our under seat deployment. Okay. So that's where we take an access point and antennas and we put them under the seats.
Yeah, put them in an enclosure.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
And then we have what we call side to side. Now, side to side is typically for the lower bowl because that's where you have your concentration of people. And with the top down antennas, you usually can't get down low enough. Mm-hmm. Or if you do get down because of the gain, you get a bounce that goes across to the other side of the stadium. Right?
So I'm assuming it isn't a one-all fix. So you can't do a top-down for you. Generally, you can.
Right.
You might not have good Wi-Fi, but
exactly.
You can. So it's kind of, you take hybrid approaches, again, like you said, for different sections of the stadium.
Yes.
Okay.
And so what we're going to talk about today is some antennas that we've designed for side to side.
Okay.
Oh.
And what we have here is what we call our handrail antenna. Now this fits on the handrails that go up the bowl as you're going up and down to your seats, the handrails that's in the middle. This fits on the handrail. This is a 6 dBi patch antenna design. We also have a 3 dBi design.
You guys like your 6 dBi.
Right.
That's a good sweet spot, I think, for an antenna. You get a nice...
Right. So...
it's just interesting. There's a lot of 6 dBi. Most antennas...
No, exactly.
You're right. It's a sweet spot.
Typically a sweet spot. And then what it is that typically it's 6 dBi. And then if you're going for dual band, where you want to have the same design as far as for your wireless or your Wi-Fi design, the same coverage. Sometimes it's a 3.6 with 3 being on 2.4 since 2.4 the frequency travels.
Who wants to do their RF math and understand how that works?
Exactly.
Anybody? Come on.
So this fits on the handrails, and this design is a 6 dBi design. Now it's a directional antenna, so it either goes from right to left or left to right depending on where you're standing. Now, we do have a right facing and a left facing. Okay. And the way that you can tell based on the antenna once you get it is the Ventev logo wherever it has a hole in the registered trademark symbol, that's the direction that it's facing.
Okay.
So if it's on the right side, it's right facing. If it's on the left side, it's left facing.
Okay.
Awesome.
Now for this design, this fits on the handrail, and the cables, actually, we drill into the handrail and the cables go down under the stadium.
Okay.
And that's where the access point is located. Or if you don't have access to that, it goes down to the bottom, and then we take conduit and take it under the seat, and there's an enclosure with the access point under the seat.
Oh, so it's under the seat. So you're still, I was going to say, you could start running some cable and then running into some other issues.
Exactly.
It's like, we got 50 feet of that.
Right.
You're like, you don't want to do that.
You got longer lengths on these cables. Let's go into that.
Right. So the reason why the lengths are so long is because depending on how deep you have to go under the stadium or under the seats. So this was designed with 15 feet of low loss cable.
Okay.
So to minimize the loss, because it's 15 feet, you're going to get some loss.
And that's 6 dBi to the connector.
It's 6 dBi to the connector, exactly.
Yeah, like what you guys did there.
Yeah.
So now the one thing that's good about this one is that anytime you put anything on handrails at a stadium, it has to be ADA compliant.
Oh.
And what that means is that anyone that's walking and they have to use the handrail, their hand has to fit over the handrail and this not interfere with them placing their hands on the handrail.
So that's actually meant so that they can actually hold that if they needed to. You don't technically.
Not necessarily hold this, but actually hold the handrail.
Okay. Oh, you have to keep it interfere.
So this can't interfere. So this has to have at least 2 or 2.5 inches of separation.
Okay.
From the actual rail.
Yes. So
it does
that
make a nice little
grab
handrail on its own.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You could get, if you, little kids, you know, they might need to, little shorter.
Well, yeah,
they might not be able to reach up there.
And the way that we designed this is that the set screws go into the actual handrail because, for instance, if your team is losing, we've had situations where people tend to kick.
That's the first thing they
see. Exactly. So
has this passed the kick test?
This has passed the kick test. This is a very sturdy design. And like I said,
how many pounds though?
It's a directional. I don't know how many pounds.
Yeah. How many pounds per square inch?
Not how many pounds, but how many kicks. Hopefully someone's going to stop them from keep kicking it after the first kick.
It can stop the first one.
They have a 1 kick limit.
Yeah, your warranty is covered for a 1 kick limit. Just remember that.
So some of the things that we did that was kind of innovative with this design is that when it fits around the actual pole on the handrail, the reason why we have a slight tilt to it is that the plastics have an oval design so that when the water goes in, it pulls the water away from the antenna and it comes out down at the bottom.
That's
so
impressive.
If it's raining and it's in an outdoor stadium, you don't have to worry about that. And besides that, we always cover our boards. This is the design is a PCB board.
Okay.
It's covered with Humaseal so that it doesn't get wet or anything like that. So we did some little innovative things to make sure that we channel water away.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And that is sturdy and stays in place once it's in.
Very nice. So let's go to the big boy.
Yeah, so why would you use this one over the small?
Okay. Now
shouldn't we know what this one does? I don't know anybody knows what this is.
Yeah.
So this is
big antenna.
So this is another version of our handrail design. So
that's a side and a side.
Right. So this fits on the handrail as well. The difference between the two is that for this design, this was just the antenna only, and the access point is under the stadium or under the seats.
So this kind of answers the question of where do I put my access point?
Right. So this design actually incorporates the access point with the handrail.
Go ahead and set that sucker down here.
So if you're looking at this, and we actually showed this at Tech Field Day, a couple of years ago,
It was
right?
Mobility Field Day number 1.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And at the time, we were actually going through the design, so I only had pictures and drawings of what we were envisioning. Mm-hmm. So what we have here is now we can actually take 2 access points, put it inside the actual handrail enclosure, and 2 antennas. So with this one design, clamshell design on the handrail, now you have propagation to the right and the left. So I have the access points, and I have two forms of propagation to the right and the left of the stands, whereas though this was only right facing or left facing, and the access points were either under the stands or under the seats.
First question someone's going to ask is,
how do you... That was
you've
where
got
I was going.
Back to back. What about the back lobe?
So we do have antennas back to back. So and this particular one that we have here, this is the Cisco 2566P.
Okay.
You can have these back to back because of the front to back ratio. These have between a 20 to 30 degree front to back ratio, and we also have a metal plate in between the two.
Yep.
So then you say, okay, so did you test that? Yes, we did. So we
wait. You test your designs?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good to know. It's good to know.
We just want to verify performance and the characteristics. So what we did was we tested the isolation between the ports of each antenna to make sure that one antenna wasn't interfering with the other.
Awesome.
So do you guys have a recommended, like, say, channel separation if you're doing 5 or 2.4? I know you guys got the back panel, but again, you might not want 36 and 40.
Right.
Just say
that's where the wireless guys come in.
I was like, do you guys have a recommended channel separation between the APs?
Well, for instance, for the 38s, we kind of follow Cisco 100 megahertz separation.
So basically, just essentially follow your vendors.
Exactly.
Okay.
And also, based on the location of these and the performance that you're trying to achieve, of course, you're adjusting the power on the access points, right? A good thing about this one is that it co-locates everything together, and it's a very sturdy design. As you can see, if I turn this around, the way that this is designed, you have these slots in it. So what this does is this helps with, you can actually take a baseball bat and bang on this, and this will not crack. You can stand on it, you can jump on it.
How many baseball bat swings?
As many as you would like.
Oh, challenge.
And one of the things
accepted, yes.
And one of the things that we did with this design, and this is also a design that's patent pending, is that we have, you can barely see it.
See the foam?
Yeah, we have a foam around it so that water won't get in.
So very nice. I was noticing that there you have a nice little watertight seal.
And it's a minimum number of screws to
I think
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah,
so 16 screws.
And you guys also, when I was pulling off the screws, you guys also have the waterproof material. You
Exactly.
have a washer. You have like a nylon. I don't know if they're nylon. They're like an insulated washer.
Yes, exactly.
So I mean, it is pretty much as watertight as you can make that thing. Yeah.
So some of the feedback that we was getting when we were designing this is that in the past, some designs for handrails, when they get power washed, water was getting into them and destroying the equipment.
Yeah, that would. Yeah,
because everything that goes into a stadium, from the under seat deployments to the handrail deployments, get power washed pretty much after every game when they clean the stadiums.
So
that's a good idea.
So as you guys are deploying these, so do you guys do you generally choose one or the other here, or is this a situation where you can kind of mix and match? Or
typically, it's up to the user. You can mix and match. So what we do is we provide the options.
Okay.
So we give you the options of what we have available, and based on that, you make the selection, and we'll come out to the site with you.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll do measurements. We work with the Wi-Fi guys at the stadium.
Yeah. The difference is you can put an antenna in here, this one being the Cisco one.
Yeah.
That one's your antenna.
Yes.
Okay.
And this one, I'm assuming that you guys have your antennas that fit in here as well.
Yes.
So you're not limited to antenna. I'm sure you can't drop like a Cisco Gillaroo in there, of course.
No.
But you know what I mean?
It doesn't
but
quite
you do
fit.
have, within reason, you can fit just about any AP.
Probably might break some regulations with that.
Yeah. You might, there might be some RF problems there.
Exactly. Now, one of the things that have come back is like, okay, we've seen this design. Okay, we like this design. It's slightly too big for our application. So can we just do a handrail design that has one access point and one antenna? And we have that design as well.
Oh, very cool.
So we're just trying to cover all of the avenues for the users.
It'd be interesting to see kind of like a half height where you have both the antennas. But you still drag this for those people who have like right under the stadium, right under the stairs, where you could put the APs right under the stairs and you still have the advantage of the dual
Exactly. So we actually haven't had that yet or had that request, but like I said, for us, it's something that we always look into what our customers want and see if we can come up with the design for them.
It's interesting how you can see with the antenna though. It's with this now that you have this separation figured out, you're pretty much not limited. Its form is no longer a factor at this point in time. You can kind of do whatever.
It's just a customization.
Yeah, it's just
exactly.
You always come back to Ventev likes to customize.
Right.
Yeah.
So speaking of customization, so you have different universities. You can actually skin these, so you can put university logos,
Oh, nice.
NFL logos, team logos as well on these.
That is, and the marketing guys always love
Or
that.
advertising.
Or advertising, exactly.
That's how I would prefer monetizing Wi-Fi.
Advertising the antennas.
Awesome. Well, thank you for showing this to us. This is actually an impressive piece of equipment where you can house the antenna and the AP, two antennas. But yeah, this is a great solution for those who are getting into stadium deployments.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a nice option.
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys have questions. If you do, leave a comment down below. And then also hit the subscribe button so you can get notifications of when we have new videos.
Yep.
And thank you for joining us on this video to talk about stadium antennas.
Yeah. Thanks,
for
Dennis.
having me.
Yep.
Thanks. Thank you guys for watching this episode. We hope you found it very insightful, very educational. And if you have any comments or feedback on this video, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you guys think. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get access to new episodes, know when they come out. And also, we got some other videos right here for you to check out if you haven't seen them already. Well, we'll see you guys soon.